And hello again, welcome to the Max Bucks channel. On this channel we talk about trading, specifically about scalping, and this video will be no exception. Today we will go through the most successful trades, the most losing ones, see what happened during the week, and also figure out what was going on last week and where it was possible to earn. Let's get straight to the point without wasting time. Maybe we should begin immediately with losing trades because losing trades are an integral part of our system. And if you don't know how to handle your losses, then there's no possibility of making any profit. My biggest loss occurred on May 1st at $1,880, quite a significant loss, and here I hit a stop at 0.11%. A rather foolish trade on my part because there was not the usual information I work with, such as 2 or more touches for trading. The required information was missing in this case. The only thing that attracted me here was the round number and some Bitcoin exits in history. There was a high level, 29 appeared as 150 and roughly some value, possibly even this level. There was an impressive breakthrough, but at that time I was somewhat asleep, as it is 6 in the morning. And when I woke up, I immediately woke up with a feeling of being left out, because everyone else made money and I, you see, didn't make any. So even here, there was already a bad setup. I'm already feeling like Thomas. I think I'll be entering right at this level. Plus here we have the round 28,200. And then there will be a good breakthrough. What was there to expect? There was no good consolidation here. They started injecting volume into the market. There's some kind of impulse going on. It was still possible to break even, but I just get stopped out on these hunts. The stop loss turned out to be larger than usual and consequently the loss as well. But what did I really expect from such a formation when we really don't have 2 touches, no trading through? The only thing worth expecting is exactly this kind of cuckoo. The good thing is that I closed at 0.11 there and not at 0.23 or even 0.3, faster and particularly 0.3. Following that, we experienced certain systemic losses. Here we have incurred a loss on Bitcoin. Here we have suffered a loss on Ether. Let's now examine together the losses that I have documented. This loss in Ether is recorded by me. I was sitting here for a straight 42 minutes. I want to clarify my entry point right away. We have this inclined resistance level here. The first time with Ether, I entered on the breakout of the incline. At this point, the momentum started, but it wasn't very strong, so I kind of exited from the position later on. Decided to switch to the retest of that same trend line. We approached this trend line again, where I clicked on the very first part, literally about 1/10 or even 1/20th of the total working volume, and placed my main volume directly at the level. At the moment, the formation appeared to be quite good, in addition to the presence of a round figure of $2,000 in the vicinity. As for the futures, I would describe the formation as average, but overall I have previously dealt with a similar story and it yielded satisfactory results. However, it's worth noting that here, as you can see, I have this panel. I'm executing this trade not from a PC as I'm used to, but from a laptop, so to speak, in field conditions. So even if something goes slightly off plan, I simply cannot afford to sit and wait, because even the pings are higher in this location on my laptop computer. There is a small impulse occurring and I immediately start to feel scared, so I promptly exit this position without hesitation. Following that, there is an extremely strong impulse. Envision my level of distress when my parents arrived for a visit. We ultimately encountered them, settled in, and conversed. I see this setup at night. I think I can't miss it. It looks really awesome on you. This microphone is here. I go out, they analyze the density on the spot, print immediately, and there's a good breakout. Looking at the trader's diary, it's clear that this is just a regular systemic loss, with $760 paid in commission, yet the total loss amounted to only $346. If you want to save on trading commissions, you can find links to bonuses in the description. Additionally, I would like to inform you that when friends or relatives come to visit you or when you go out for your own business, please refrain from engaging in trading activities, as it is important to fully relax and not hastily enter into market positions. It could have been worse, it hit hard, but thanks for closing it anyway. Could have definitely handled it better. However, in any case, when you are resting, rest. When you are working, work. It is not recommended to combine these 2 things into one, as neither of them will turn out well or produce desirable outcomes. Next in the trader's diary is a loss on RLC. I also unfortunately did not record this trade, wanted to take some kind of cue, but I understand that something didn't work out for me. Minus $337, by the way, is a significant loss. Then EDU, it's an attempt to get ahead somehow, but again, it didn't work out. In short, this week there were a lot of stops that could have been actually avoided. Also, an attempt to get ahead in ARB, similar to Bitcoin as I recall. That is all. I practice these sets in advance, but up until now I am not quite grasping it. However, sooner or later I will be able to handle it. I believe I will demonstrate all of this to you, and then perhaps I will clarify the correct procedure. But for now, I have limited experience with this. Now let's likely move on to the top profits, because the profits here are already more lucrative. If it weren't for the Bitcoin crash on May 1st, the week would have ended amazingly. Well, because when you enter based on information that's not yours, when you don't understand what you're doing, well, it's clear that losses will also exceed. Unfortunately, I also didn't record this trade. Our setup consisted of 2 touches. Here is that very first touch at the 29650 level. And the second touch we have is a bit higher. I would even say 3 touches. So the first, second, third. A series of different resistance levels which I was actually present here to break through and overcome. There was no trading below the level right here, but I appreciated the rather smooth approach. Once again, they remained in place for a long time, traded well, and there was a pretty good impulse present in this area. Managed to withdraw $2,500. Next, we have profit again, as far as I remember, related to Bitcoin. I ultimately documented this deal. The formation is analogous to the previous one that was established. There are 2 touches to the level. Here, we need to pay attention to this particular stack. The first touch, the second touch, again around 29, 250, and it's on the breakout of these 2 levels that I enter here. It is once again a risky approach, yet it is smooth, without breaking below the predetermined level of risk involved. It takes me into this position. Right away we experience a good impulse. Let's have a look at this order book right here. A portion of it I cover with limit orders, and the remaining portion I simply sell at the market price. In the trader's journal, we see that in the trade I spent 4 seconds and made a clean $5,000. ARV $958 in some local situation. I will show you the video right away. In our history, we have 1 support level. However, the second level is slightly lower, meaning the second level is positioned below the first. But once again, if we pay attention to the ARB, it has quite successfully broken its charts, even from some very local situations that occurred in the past. Thus, overall, one could contemplate that there exists a potential risk, but once again, I reiterate, the track record of ORB is such that it effectively surpasses its objectives. I place my pending orders before 1.32, there's a breakthrough in the market, I'm taken into a position, part through limit orders, and the remaining ones I already sell off. Each trade is unique, but similar. 2 seconds in the trade, and you can see the profit 0.55%. It could have been more, but that's what it is. I could have made more in terms of percentage, but that's what it is. Going for it was an attempt to get ahead somehow, and I did quite well in this situation. As you can see, really nailed it on top. Plus, the volume here was really good. The plan was to make around $10,000 from this trade, but as you can see, I just couldn't hold on through this move. I had valid grounds to enter this trade due to the presence of density at the spot where it was happening. I kept thinking, if they figure out this density, well, that's it, I won't be able to move. As you can see now, there are 63,000 here. Also, you may notice that in the cluster, once again 67, this density was constantly updated, this density was always being pushed. However, at this moment I observe, and I no longer possess such belief that this level of compactness will not be comprehended. I get what they add here, I get what they sell here, but again, there's a belief like when I was standing there initially, I saw what was being heavily pushed in the order book. Currently, she was not under as much pressure, indicating that it was clear the person standing here had already begun to weaken. I think if it stays at 1040, I will exit. They start to analyze, I exit the trade, and as soon as I exit the trade, you just watch. As soon as I exit, they immediately print. So it turns out that my volume in futures affected the spot. Quite a unique deal, cool. Nevertheless, I'm glad that I was able to participate in this movement in some way. However, I am still dissatisfied with the execution of this trade. I could have entered more skillfully with smaller volumes, but in any case, it's an experience that I am collecting, and in the future I say, someday I will enter well and there will also be a good profit. Next, trade on Bitcoin at $851, brought us 0.16, but unfortunately, this trade was not recorded as expected. Next, a PRB trade with a $505 profit, also a local trade with 2 touches in the area, part clicked in advance, part with stop orders at the level. I enter this position, there is an impulse, I see a slowdown, and immediately exit to ensure minimal risk. Quickly, took a little bit, well also I would say nice. Next, RLC. That is what I displayed, what I attempted to concentrate on. The first attempt was unsuccessful, the second attempt was quite successful, but once again I didn't load enough volumes here. Subsequently on the EDU instrument, once again originating from the congestion zone. Nevertheless, I still couldn't apprehend the breakout of this slope, but oh well, at least I tried. Next, we have a short position on Bitcoin starting from around $29,000. There was high density from it I once gained, and as I recall, it seems that yes, I even gained a second time. The first trade, then the second trade, and there a profit of around $200. So I guess guys, that's all the trades that I recorded. There was one more trade on soy, but not much was earned on it. Let's review these trades and move on to the journal, shall we? I made $4,247 in a week, plus I will get back almost $1,000 in cash back. The cashback link will appear on your screen right now. It's a QR code that you can scan to access the platform where you can receive that cash back. So about $1,500 to $1,200 came out for this week, which is pretty good. Once again, if I had not entered the local Bitcoins on Monday, that is the first local Bitcoins, the second one, it was just, I must say, fear of missing out. When I see that there was a good impulse at $29.50 where many took profit, I didn't take it, wake up to FOMO and try to look for situations where they simply don't exist. If it had not dropped to $2,200 on Bitcoin on Monday, the week would have closed really great because on Ether, I had to just offset the loss that I got from Bitcoin. So gentlemen, this week ended up being quite satisfactory, but it could have been more favorable. There exist regions for enhancement, which is what I am presently focusing on. Thanks everyone for watching. Analyze your journal, find your mistakes, and only self-analysis, only self-examination will lead you to results. Good luck to all, profit to all, happiness, peace, kindness to all, and bye for now.